Yo, what's up? It's Ben Scarborough, and I'm chilling here at Third Eye Collective in the secret room, one of the best looks on the west side, with Oski.
How you doing?
Oski, what it do, man?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I'm great. Welcome back to the studio.
Thank you so much. It's good to be here, man.
Yeah, it's always good to be here, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. This is a magical place, bro.
What does it? It's the high ceilings, you know?
It's the high ceilings, it's the colors, it's the art. It's just everybody out here is doing their thing, and I like that, you know?
So for everyone watching at home, Oski and I really just met prior to this episode.
Yeah, a few minutes ago.
And so I've been kind of like educating myself with what he's been going through over the past week. And you have you just announced a single, right?
It was an EP. I announced that today, actually.
It's an EP.
Yeah, 4 tracks. Yep.
They're still putting EPs out, guys.
Yep.
For all you younger people out there, that stands for extended play. It's not quite an LP. It's not quite the bookend A-side, B-side, right?
It's not that long. It's extended, but it's not long.
So what's brought about the EP?
Well, basically, about 2 months ago, I did an EP with Disciple, and it was called Vapor Rave, and that got a pretty good reception. And after that, I was super inspired because, 6 months to a year ago, I was writing like kind of old school, like trippy trap type stuff.
Okay.
And now I'm kind of teetering on the edge of more like dub trap, kind of mixing this two styles.
Damn.
But yeah, Disciple gave me a 2 or 3 week window to write another EP. They said, "Do you want to do this?" And I already had 1 track written, and I was like, "Fuck it!" Like I'm going back to America in a couple of weeks. Like it'll be good to go with some content for once, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, we announced it today, and it's looking good, man.
So I'm to understand that you're from down under.
I am. I'm from Sydney, Australia.
So I've never been there. Never been to Sydney. Always wanted to go.
Oh, you should.
I've always I'm a huge gamer, and I've gathered that there's like some weird bans on certain video games. Can you speak on that?
So from my understanding, there was a bit of a thing with R-rated games. And now basically what's happened is they've taken the MA15 plus rating and made that R-rated. So basically the Australian Consumer Board is they struggle to let through those really, really violent games. But I guess, dude, GTA sells, it makes money. Like
That's what I was gonna say. That's the hot button issue right there. GTA, right?
It's always GTA, bro.
Is it the parents over there that are wigging out, or?
I don't know, man. I just think it's an Australian government thing, you know? Like, you see it nowadays, like the news, they're always talking about, do video games make people violent and all that stuff?
Yeah.
And it's like, man, people have been violent for hundreds of years, you know? Like,
And I've seen Mad Max. I know how crazy it can get down there in Australia.
that's how it is, bro. That's legit. That's a normal day in Australia, Mad Max. It's hot as hell.
So, like, I guess it's, we're like a decade into the trap revolution phenomenon, right?
Yep.
Trap around the world. I've seen some of my friends on Instagram in Japan who've had these trap concerts and, the crazy success that they've experienced. How did you first come into trap just by listening to American artists, or are there other artists around the world that you caught into the sound?
See, I was a dubstep guy. I love dubstep. And when trap was just popping off, maybe 6-7 years ago, when that was just really hitting its stride, I was just like, man, fuck trap. Like dubstep is the way. Like I was listening to like Casper, Roscoe, and Gemini, Terra Vita, like all those guys that were doing that really crazy dubstep, and drum step as well.
Drum step, okay.
Drum step, yeah, that was the fast.
Is that a sub genre?
Yeah, so that's like fast dubstep basically.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's like dubstep at 170 BPM or faster, and it's kind of like a mix between dub and drum and bass. But yeah, dude, trap was coming around, and I was like, nah, fuck this trap shit. Like that'll never be the thing. And I actually made a friend, Hydraulics, who was a big player in the trap and one of the pioneers in the trap scene in Australia. And him and I just started hanging out. We started writing music, and I just really fucked with it. Like there was a certain steez about it that you couldn't match with dubstep, you know?
Mm-hmm.
There was a swag, for lack of a better word.
There is a swag, a swaver.
A swaver, if you may.
Yeah. Big trap artist inspirations, maybe? from America or worldwide?
Yeah, I'd say mainly America, man. Like those were the guys that were really. Also, Uzi was a big one too. You know, back in the day, Uzi was a huge inspiration. He's French. He's a good friend of mine actually. I spent some time with him a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, mainly American artists, man. Like, I mean, we all remember Harlem Shake.
Yes.
And Bauer, and when that shit popped off, and then we had R.L. Grime coming in with the Satisfaction remix, Mercy remix.
Oh, right.
That was when I was like, okay, there's something in this, you know.
Mm-hmm. I have never produced a record before. I've always thought about it, but every time I look at Ableton, it looks beautiful. Screenshots of Ableton look awesome.
It's very aesthetic.
I've logged into it a few times. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't know the first thing about producing a record, but I will be the first person to judge a track and say, maybe not or whatever.
Yeah. We have, the thing is, man, like humans, no matter what language you speak, we have a universal language for music, right? And you can, if a song doesn't sound right, you may not be able to specifically put your finger on the, you know, technically, like terminology wise, okay, this needs to be fixed, but we know because we've been listening to music for thousands of years. Mm-hmm. So, you know, everyone has an opinion, and that's a personal opinion. So it's very much like a thing, you know. There's a universal not standard, but like we all know when music's good and when it hits us and stuff like that.
Do you do like a trap set, or do you mix trap and dub?
Yeah,
sets?
It's more like a mix between trap and dub. I just kind of, generally I don't plan my sets out. I just play whatever I think the crowd is feeling.
Okay.
You know, it's a little bit harder in America because there's so much selection in America, and the market is very saturated at the moment.
It's true.
And so sometimes I find myself trying to figure out what should I be doing, when the reality is, as artists, we should just be doing whatever the fuck we like.
It's true.
Know?
Well, how about this? Why music?
I mean, I can't really do much else. I'm not good at much else. But I've been playing. I come from a Hispanic background, so when I was about 4 or 5 years old, I started playing guitar, but more flamenco guitar, like finger picking and all that kind of traditional stuff.
Uh-oh, this guy's on his way to steal your girl. Watch out.
And finger picks, man. But I always wanted to create. I liked creating. I liked making, you know, whether it's drawings or like writing a little melody or something like that. But I could never, ever wrap my head around music notation and actually reading that.
Sheet music?
Yeah, that language. I just couldn't wrap my head around it. Maybe something to do with the fact that I couldn't focus as a kid or whatever. But as soon as I found FL Studio, I was probably about 15 years old, 10 years ago now. I just thought this whole world had just expanded, and I was like, man, I can actually get down these ideas that I've had in my head for years without having to go through the whole process of learning how to read music, sheet music, and going through the very technical way of doing it.
An extremely powerful feeling, I'm sure.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So do you get the feeling now that you've got the hang of these softwares, do you think you could produce a record in any genre?
I mean, more or less, it just depends on whether it's good or not to the listeners, you know? Like, I feel confident in my ability in writing whatever, you know, comes, whatever I feel like writing. Like, I could write a house track, a drum and bass track.
Okay.
But, I mean, yeah, that's a hard one. I've never tried to produce other styles apart from those kinds. Maybe like techno or something like that. But
okay.
Like,
K-pop.
Yeah, if someone was to give me, like, say, produce a jazz track, I'd be like, okay, I mean, I'll try my best.
Okay.
You know?
But at least you could get maybe like all the elements into a piece of software and be able to manipulate everything.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
So you're on tour.
I am on tour at the moment, yes.
What are some things that we're doing in our downtime on tour?
I mean, we're eating a hell of a lot of food. Like,
big food energy.
Mayhem, he's got the fat boy swag. He's been taking me to all the spots.
American Deli, check.
Dude, we went to this one place that had the most amazing. I'd never had wings like that before in my life, but the shit just fell off the bone. And I was like, so good, bro.
Is that what those drug money boys talk about when they're in the city? Oh my God, they come back here just like stuffed, keeled over.
Oh my God, bro.
What do you think of Atlanta? as a whole?
I love Atlanta. Atlanta has got to be my favorite city in the US.
Do you feel your trap superpowers activating? Like as soon as you get off the plane, you're just like, oh, start to whip it up. Oh,
Dude, the elbows start swinging.
yeah.
But dude, Atlanta, I was telling Mayhem the other day, I can't put my finger on it, but it's just got this magic to it. It's a magical city, and it kind of reminds me of home because of the way the city's laid out. Like a lot of American cities are very grid patterned. Like you fly over LA, everything's in grids and blocks.
Yeah.
New York, grids and blocks. But Atlanta is like, it's got an interesting layout, and it's got a lot of trees and stuff, just like Australia.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's like an old train town.
Yes,
Like
terminus.
Everything kind of meets here in the middle.
Yeah.
It's weird. We have one of the largest airports in the world, if not the largest, and it's nowhere near like a body of water. Most of the airports are like near a body of water, but
That's crazy, man.
it's landlocked.
That's crazy, and it's one of the busiest airports in the world too.
I haven't been in a while, but they're always renovating it.
Yeah.
I used to go there and hang out and just people watch. Actually,
Yeah,
haven't
dude.
done that in a while, but yeah, it's crazy what you can find there. So how long are you in the city?
I'm in Atlanta for another 3 days. I think I leave on Thursday. So what day is it today? Monday. I think it's Monday.
What's next on the stop?
Next, I play in Orlando, Florida,
Okay.
and then after that I fly back to LA and I play at Orange County.
Oh, wow.
I'm playing a space yacht show. So it'll be my first space yacht show. So I'm really fucking excited for that, dude. It's gonna
Now,
be fire.
what's that?
Space yacht is I think it's based in LA. I think that's like the original spot, but it's this party that they do every Tuesday, and if I'm not mistaken, they do it in San Francisco, and they'll do one-off parties in other cities too. But basically, like every week, the lineup is question marks. It's all a mystery. You don't know who's playing until
Very cool.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the industry hangout spot.
So people are attached to the brand,
Yes.
the name,
Yes.
and they come to see the who's who.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be backstage, maybe rubbing shoulders with some other.
I mean, hopefully, man. But either way, if not, I'm still gonna play the best set I can play and just
There you
enjoy, because, I mean, I like LA and the whole networking thing is cool, but like, I'm starting to get to a point where like, if somebody, I don't want to put in too much effort for networking with people who won't,
Reciprocate it.
like
For sure.
I'm just getting to that age where if you don't fuck with me, cool.
You got the body language thing down.
Yeah. Maybe they'll fuck with me in the future. Who knows? But like the whole networking thing, I'm just over that. I just want to have fun, write good music, and meet fans too, dude. Because like fans in America, they be driving 3, 4, 5 hours to come see you play in another
true.
state.
It's true.
It's a lifestyle for some people.
Like it might, like you feel like maybe you're getting a charge off of it, like you're talking to a fan and the fan's building you up a little bit,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit of inspiration, motivation.
Yeah, well, I feel like I at least owe that to a fan, to the fans, to talk to them and take photos and stuff. Because, I mean, I see some DJs nowadays and they just don't give a shit about their fans. They don't reciprocate. They don't reply. They don't show any genuine emotion. And I just feel like that's a bum move because, man, the fans are the ones that put you there. Like the fans are the ones that come out, they support you, they see you play,
That's
and
true.
all that stuff. So you at least owe it to them to take photos and say hello and connect with them and stuff.
Yeah, you'll know when you get to that point where it's no more pictures, no more fan stuff, right?
Yeah, but I don't know, man. That point is like I feel like that's a long way away from me. Like I feel like even if I was to get, big, I'd still want to go out and take photos with fans.
Yeah.
That's just me, though. That's just how I am. Even though I'm a bit introverted, on most days, I still, when I go out and I play shows, I feel like I turn into a different person. It brings me out of my shell.
Mm-hmm. Do you see yourself making music for the rest of your life?
I see myself going deaf. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I mean, I would like to make music for the rest of my life, but I think that there will be a point where I'll get to, maybe like age 40 or 50, and then I'll go, maybe I'll want to do some music for TV or movies or video. Like, I love video games, dude. Like, I would love to do sound for games and shit. And if anyone's watching this and you have a job for me, hit me up, because I'm down.
Dude plays video games.
I play video games. I live video. Look at this. PUBG right here.
It's number one, Victory Royale.
Chicken dinner, baby.
I was going to ask you about that, the PUBG shirt.
Yes, sir.
We playing on PC? We playing on Xbox?
So I own every console. But I am a PC master race guy. I recently, about a year ago, built my own PC, and I never looked back since,
Yeah.
dude. I went for I didn't go all out, but I went for the 16 gigs of RAM with a 1070 Ti.
Oh yeah.
Got an i5 8600, not the best CPU, but I gave myself some room for upgrades and stuff
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I want to get an RTX card though.
Ray tracing clearly is here.
Yep.
I've seen the new Battlefield, the new Call of Duty supports ray tracing. The PlayStation 5 is supposed to have ray tracing.
Yeah. That's crazy, dude.
There's a new Half-Life game was just announced.
Yes, the VR game, Half-Life Alyx.
It's a virtual reality exclusive.
That's fucking awesome.
If Valve just released their virtual reality headset, it's $1,000. It's called the Index, and it's the next generation VR headset. You can buy it now. You get a free copy of Half-Life Alyx when it comes out.
Of course.
But it's wireless.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. That's why the price is so. They have like the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive wired devices.
Yeah,
Can't go too far. So this is like the first wireless device, and
That's crazy, dude.
yeah, people are saying it's pretty cool. I can't wait to check it out. I'm actually a pretty big gamer myself. I get lost in just about everything. Video game soundtracks, top 3, Grand Theft Auto 3, the radio stations in that game.
There was a drum and bass station in that, I
Yep,
remember.
yep.
Jungle.
Game radio.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else? I really like, I thought the new God of War video game for PS4 had a wonderful dynamic score.
Yeah.
You know, based on what's happening. If there's a lot of energy, the music is really fast. If it's slow,
Yeah.
they've written music for just about every tempo. So
Yeah.
as you transition from a battle, the music kind of dies down. And I really, and this is going to sound crazy, there's a game called Shenmue.
I know Shenmue, yeah.
Shenmue's got great music.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's a completely different style, but
Yeah,
yeah,
dude.
what are some classic video game soundtracks? I mean, Doom is up
Dude,
there.
yeah, of course, man. You gotta go with Doom, bro. But I would say my number 1 is Metal Gear Solid 2 or 3.
2 or 3?
They had this amazing orchestral score that just like I can hear it inside my head right now, and it's just like it's got so much movement. It's so beautiful. But yeah, God of War, that game is a bloody masterpiece. I tell you what.
It is.
What else? Last of Us had an incredible soundtrack with their
did.
little acoustic guitar.
Uh-huh.
And also the recent Spider-Man on PS4. One thing I noticed with that game is they had a constant. Basically, when you're playing the game, you can imagine a muted soundtrack playing behind the game. But every time something happens, right, you punch someone or something, they unmute a particular element.
Like a track or something?
Yeah, so you like punch someone and all of a sudden you hear a violin coming, go doot, doot. Like, it's so freaking awesome, man. Like, the way they did that was so reactive to what's actually happening within the game. And I just thought that was genius. I've never really heard something like that before.
So there's a game called Undertale,
Yep.
where the guy Toby Fox programmed, did all the art, and wrote the music for it.
Yep.
That's kind of he's like the Mozart right now. Everyone's kind of waiting for his next game.
Yep.
The music he wrote for that game is fantastic.
Yeah, dude, what's that one song? That's from Undertale,
Yeah,
right?
it's like chiptune. It's been remixed to death and whatnot. What about, let's go back to mashups, right?
Yep.
Early 2000s mashups where it's like chiptune beats, but then like whatever acapellas you could find.
Oh, damn.
Did you ever make any one of those kind of mashups?
I'm trying to think. I do remember doing some mashups, but one of them that I did was actually the Metal Gear Solid theme.
Hey.
I did, and it had some, like, it was like some electro house type shit, but like, I did fuck with that. In terms of chiptunes mashups, I don't know. I don't think I really had any. What? Oh, dude, you know what? The Pallet Town from Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
I think G. Jones did something with that too, didn't he?
I'm not familiar with his work.
So Pallet Town this is actually quite a crazy story. Apparently this soundtrack in a certain area of one of the original Pokemon games had this really eerie kind of tones to it, and it was making people go insane. It's like an urban legend type thing.
Wow.
And yeah, I did mess around with that quite a few years ago, but I was like, it didn't really turn into much. I just kind of left it on the side there.
The new Doom game, Doom 2016, phenomenal soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
It's like metal, but it's like, you know, the most hellish soundtrack.
It's raging, bro.
Loved that. That comes to mind, I guess, when it comes to video game soundtracks.
Crash Bandicoot,
Crash Bandicoot.
especially Warped.
Warped had a great soundtrack
Warped had an insane soundtrack.
because there was like all these different genres for the different type of levels that you were in.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly. Those kind of games, those old school platformer games, man. There's a guy that does, I forget his name, but he's like this guy who plays on this Casio keyboard.
Is it Dan Deacon by any chance?
I don't know.
That was a shot in the dark.
I don't know, but all I know is he does these like viral videos, and he's like playing all this video game music on his keyboard, and just, dude, I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but like that guy's insane. And once we get off this thing, I'm gonna find it and show you, dude, because that's real cool.
That's so. Are you gaming on the go? Do we have a Switch or anything like that?
Yes, I brought my Switch with me.
Switching it up.
Yep. I recently got Luigi's Mansion. I've been messing with that. That's a pretty cool game. I don't know if I'm ready to take the leap on the new Pokemon game just yet.
Okay, you got some options.
Yeah, I do got some options. I've been looking at Dark Souls on the Switch.
Bro, do it. Pull the trigger.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's the game.
Every game now is Dark Souls.
Yeah, legit.
The new Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order,
Dark Souls, yeah.
it's Dark Souls.
Dude,
That game created a genre,
yeah, no doubt.
and now every game wants to be it.
No doubt, man. I just love that kind of like, that targeting, and actually like combat actually has some difficulty to it, you know? And I played Sekiro and Bloodborne as well. Those games were just...
Soulsborne.
Yeah, dude, Soulsborne. I love it, man. I love it. What else was there, bro? The thing is, when I came out on tour, I've been out on tour for about 3 weeks now, and I left just as all the games came out.
I know, they all kind of hit just right at once.
COD came out, and Red Dead 2 came out on PC, despite the fact that had a terrible launch. Jedi Fallen Order just dropped.
It slaps.
Death Stranding just dropped.
Beat it.
You beat it? Ah, damn, bro. I'm so jealous, man.
And the guy Ludwig, the guy who wrote the score for that,
Insane.
fantastic
Insane.
job.
What else? Yeah, dude, just all these. There's a new Escape from Tarkov update. There's a new Rainbow Six Siege update, which I love. Like, I'm obsessed with that game.
Love Siege.
Dude. Like, I've been out here and I've been having cravings for that game.
That game gives me anxiety.
Me too. Bro. But it's
I'm always like, oh God, I'm going to fucking like eat it.
Yeah, it's the good kind though. It's like,
It is the good kind.
It's like a Soulsborne game in which like get better. You can feel yourself learning all the practices and all the meta and all that kind of stuff, you know.
What about films? Any films coming out that you're looking forward to see?
Damn. I actually just saw the Joker movie, and that was really the only one that I was looking forward to. I don't keep up with films that much. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Todd Phillips, the director of that movie, opted out of the pre-signed bonus and instead opted to make a percentage of the box office or whatever. So with the movie crossing over $1 billion, he's set to make around $100 million, just pocketing it, right?
damn it, bro, that's insane. And so that's well deserved, man, because that movie was like, that was like a classic Scorsese type film. Like, I really enjoyed it. Hey, yeah.
I feel like if I hadn't seen Taxi Driver and The King of Comedy, before, you know, I went with my girlfriend and she hadn't seen either of those, and she was just like, "Wow, the ending." I'm like, it's kind of like Taxi Driver, but okay.
Yeah.
I'll give it that. You know, the motherfucker acted his ass off in that movie. You know, he deserves everything he's got coming to him.
And the fact that De Niro was in it too.
I mean,
icing on the cake, bro.
it was icing on the cake. They really did a great job for that. Irishman is about to hit Netflix in 2 days here in the States. That's going to be really cool.
Yep.
That's a 3.5-hour movie. So I'm going to have to wake up really early and just get that one in.
Oh, yeah.
Super excited about that. So when is the EP out?
The EP comes out on the 4th of December.
4th of December.
Yes, sir. I'm going to be uploading some tracks over the next few days to SoundCloud. So people are going to be getting like listens of the track before it actually comes out. So
okay.
That's good. Disciple has a good like staggered release plan in that way.
Tell me about the artwork.
Dude,
very futuristic looking.
Okay, so the artwork is like, the guy that does it, his name is Solid Soul, and he's been doing it for a minute, right? He did all the like the Excision stuff, all the old school Firepower stuff.
Okay.
Like when dubstep, like back in its heyday, was getting that really Transformers look. He was curating that look. And he now does all the stuff in-house. I'm not sure if it's in-house, but he does it all for Disciple, for all their releases. And basically how we do it is generally with an EP is I get together a bunch of images, like a mood board, and I just kind of say, hey, this is the idea, this is the theme, and these are the images I like, these are the colors, these are the textures I like, and we basically just give it to him and let him do his thing. And he came back with the big mech.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's the vibe.
That is the vibe.
Yeah, I like it, dude.
What other visual accompaniment? Are you working on any like music videos? I know music videos are kind of iffy.
Yeah, that's one of those things where you have to have some heat, to actually pull that stuff off, like to actually pull it off tastefully, and like where it's kind of like justified, and like, I don't know, I want it to fit in with my brand and stuff too. So when I get to the point where I do a music video, I'd kind of like it to be fully cartooned or fully animated or something like that, in a really trippy kind of way. But I mean, more than that, I'm going to be doing some branding stuff this year. So we're looking at kind of working out a visual theme for my entire kind of, not discography, but just me, you know. And, at the moment, I'm kind of just looking at themes of, like, what would happen if AI kind of took over, or what would happen if aliens came, or, societal decay and all that kind of stuff that will end us as a human race.
That, what is it? Post-apocalyptic?
Yeah, post-apocalyptic, but also in a really futuristic kind of way, kind of like the end has already happened, we just don't know it yet, type deal. Like,
are we in that now?
Are we kind of like going down that kind of drain of like, it's
will I put my phone on airplane mode when I'm hanging out with my family at Thanksgiving? Will I have a no phone Thanksgiving or not?
Yeah, dude, that's a big thing too, man, is the whole telecommunications. And like, what if we lost power tomorrow? What if all of the world lost power tomorrow? That's what I want my shows to feel like.
It would be Death Stranding.
It's legitimately would be, bro. We'd be carrying around big Uber Eats bags trying to deliver shit to people.
Where do I go? I'm lost. Now, the other day my phone died and I was downtown, and I realized I am so fucked right now.
Yeah.
Because I can't call a cab. I can't do shit.
It's a scary thought.
It was. I was like, wait a minute. I'm actually... Like, how did I let my phone die?
Yeah, dude.
What am I doing out here? It was a really disarming kind of feeling.
Especially now you got stuff like Apple Pay, and like people just be leaving the house with just their phone. All their money's on there.
Yeah.
Like some people like have their key code lock, whatever on their phone. Like I remember I was staying at an Airbnb in LA a couple of years ago, and there was a lock, a pin code type deal, and I had it on my phone, and my phone died, and I was like,
RIP.
What do I do? Like, my charger's inside the Airbnb. I'm legitimately screwed. And that kind of got me thinking, like, we are so dependent on our phones nowadays, man. And like you were saying, dude, your phone died and you were like, I'm fucked.
Yeah, I was big lost. I was super upset. I was like, it made such an impact on me that I was like, this can't ever happen again.
Yeah, dude.
So I got one of those little portable battery jumps, and now I bring it with me. Like, when we go to conventions, there's Dragon Con happens here. It's like the Comic-Con of the Southeast, and
that's cool.
Yeah, my phone died one of the nights, and I was like, damn, I guess help, got to charge eventually, but yeah, it was ridiculous. It was such a disarming feeling.
Yeah, well, man, they want you to upgrade your phone to the newest phone with amazing battery life and stuff like that. I noticed, man, every time a new phone comes out, my battery life just halves, because those new updates just be draining the battery life on it.
Well, planned obsolescence is a thing in the smartphone industry. It's a tough topic. Actually, there was a class action lawsuit that Apple was up against, and they lost recently, where they basically what happens is when the cell phone battery when the health of the battery depletes past a certain percentage, the CPU is throttled. And they do this to extend the overall battery life of the device, but the phone technically runs at a slower clock rate, the CPU.
Yeah.
And so when they ran all these benchmarks, they found out that these older phones, even a year old, are running slower. And it broke some, I forget what the breach was, but it had something to do with... I don't want to say false advertising because that's not it, but it was like, anyway, the class action lawsuit was like, they can't keep doing this. The planned obsolescence can't be a year.
Yeah,
this is $1,000 phone. There's no way. So I actually recently went and I love this device.
Let me have a look.
I'm sure you'll no doubt recognize, everybody at home.
Oh, that's the 4 or 4S?
So this is the iPhone 5.
Oh,
right?
that's okay. Yeah, yep.
And what they did is they took the internals of the iPhone 6S and they put it inside of the 5 body, right?
Yep.
And they sell this in emerging markets and stuff like that.
Oh, that's the one that they did recently for it's like they did that alongside the iPhone 8, huh?
Yeah.
And they released that one as well.
So you see, I've got these two, right? This is like one for the house, and then I take this one with me because it's smaller.
Yep.
I wear these young thugs,
Yeah.
so I gotta fucking
Yeah, of course.
bring the smaller phone with me. But the idea is that, like, I always really thought that the iPhone 5 was like the pinnacle of industrial design. I was like, we've peaked, the damn, the lens protrudes, does not protrude on this one,
yeah.
And this is from 2016. I recently took it to a shop downtown, and they put a new battery in it, and it gave it like a new lease on life.
Yeah, dude.
So now I get like a 2.5 day charge on this battery when I'm out on the go.
That's amazing. Do you mind if I hold that, dude? 'Cause
Please.
I haven't held one of these in a long time. These feel so. I remember these felt so good in the hand when these first came out because
It's my daily driver, believe it or not,
Yeah.
because I don't give a fuck. Plus, it's like, people. It's a conversation starter. People are like, quick to judge. Like, what is this, old ass phone? I'm like, slow your roll. First of all, GPU's not pushing a HD resolution, so it's not, the battery's not being taxed.
that's it. Yeah.
It's a dual core 64-bit processor. It's got 2 gigs of RAM. Fuck with it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, absolutely. That's a smart idea, man. Just to have a second backup
Like,
phone.
ask me if a less featured smartphone improves your life or not.
True.
I mean,
Does it?
kind of. I mean, I drove. This was my daily driver for a while, and I mean, this thing in bed, it only has to hit me in the face so
Yeah.
many times before I'm like, all right, god damn it.
I feel that it's getting to a point where like these big ass phones are getting pretty cumbersome.
Like,
man.
hang on, my phone's ring. Oh shit.
Did you see the Motorola Razr?
It's back.
Dude, it's back in full effect.
It actually it runs Android.
Yeah.
And it's got a folding screen, right? Have you seen those folding screens?
Dude, I remember.
So fragile.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it would take the joy out of hanging up on somebody. You remember how you just used to slap that phone shut,
dude,
like, fuck you, click.
I remember that, dude.
But the
Holy
phone,
shit.
the screen on it is so fragile.
Yeah.
Samsung actually had to recall their Note, or the Fold.
Fold?
Yeah, the Fold, because it wasn't quite ready. They showed that after like however many folds, the screen right at the bend starts to wear and stuff like
and
that.
people were peeling off they thought it had a screen protector on it, but it was part of the screen, and they'd peel it off and the entire thing would fuck up. And I remember that because Samsung was like, yo, we have to rethink this whole thing. And I think they took it off the market for a couple of weeks something.
They did. I always think about getting an Android, and I don't know if like iMessage is the single reason that I'm still in the iOS ecosystem. There's just something about
I hear a lot of people say that though.
iMessage just being like I'm trapped in it or something.
And AirDrop as well. Is a big
AirDrop
thing.
is pretty cool. But I mean, honestly, that might be the only app, and it's a messaging app. It's almost like, can we get iMessage on Android? No.
Well, apparently some of the big US telco providers are now working together, like AT&T and like T-Mobile and all that are working together to do an equivalent for Android.
That would be really what it is. Is it's iMessage is a internet service.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not SMS or
Yeah,
MMS. You can send those from the app, but it's like it's its own
Yep.
encrypted end-to-end,
Yeah.
secure kind of thing. I don't know. It's weird. The messaging apps are so like clearly they're having people choose one platform or the other.
Absolutely. And Apple security is second to none, man. Like that, I'd say of all the tech manufacturers, Apple's got the best security of all of
That
them,
walled
man.
garden.
And they don't bend to governments and stuff like that.
Yeah, they really don't.
They don't. They're like, fuck you. You can figure out a way to open that shit yourself. 'Cause we're not doing it.
So I guess what smartphone are you
What do I got?
are you rocking?
I got the iPhone X, but I've been thinking about getting the new one with the 3 cameras.
Yes.
Because that wide angle lens is you can like take a photo and then zoom it out and everything looks fish-eyed, It's fucking awesome. My girlfriend got it recently, and she was showing me the quality of the photos and the fact that it's just so high quality and stuff like that. The way it records light, it's got better light sensors or whatever. I can't tell you the terminology, but she can sell it really well. But yeah, I've been thinking about getting one of those, but man, like new iPhone, new MacBook Pro, new this, new that. It's like a 5 to 6 grand investment for all that shit, you know?
Sometimes it's not necessarily the most, important thing, right? Like I can clearly handle all my business on this phone.
That's it, bro. I mean,
and I can edit all the videos that I can want on this machine here.
I remember when the smartphones first started hitting the shelves and people were saying, man, why would I need, I just need my phone to make calls and texts and stuff. And
right. Okay, boomer.
Like, yeah, okay, boomer. That's the vibe. But I'm getting there, bro. I'm getting to the point where like, man, I don't give a, like, yes, social media is important as an artist and as a producer or whatever. But like, if I wasn't an artist, I would not give a fuck about any of that shit. I would just want to text and call, and that's it, man. Yeah, I can use my computer for that kind of stuff.
It's true. There's just something about sending a text with a full keyboard.
Yeah.
And then somebody just hits you back with that K.
I did it. It could be worse. At least we don't have to like. Do you remember the old keypads where you have to
T9.
press shit? Yeah, dude, that was crazy. You'd press the same button 4 times to get the letter S. Man, those were the days, bro.
Man, y'all Zoomers don't even know what the fuck that feels like.
You know what's funny is that I used one of those phones recently, and it was muscle memory kicked in, and I was like texting, and I was legitimately doing it like I was riding a fucking bike. I got back on that horse, and I was like, damn, I can't believe I can still do this shit after 15 years.
Can't say that I've done that recently. Yeah,
Try it, bro.
I'm gonna have to. They call them basic phones here.
Basic phones
in the States. Yeah, most retailers like Walmart, Best Buy will call them basic phones.
I call them.
They don't call them burner phones.
Nah, they're not burner phones. They're woke phones. All the woke people have those, bro.
Right. Did you see that Supreme put out a burner phone recently?
No.
Did you guys, Greg? Did you see that? They put out a basic phone with like a 1.2 megapixel camera and like 32 megs of internal storage, and it's like got some ridiculous price because of the Supreme sticker on it. And there was like a huge release in New York, and all the hype beasts were there in line around the block just to get this phone that does nothing. Basically, it just makes calls, doesn't run Android or whatever. It's freaking hilarious. But I mean, yeah, Supreme was able to show that anything they put their name on, people are gonna.
Well, they showed that with the brick, huh? Didn't they do? They literally did a house brick.
Oh, that's right.
And people were buying that shit on eBay.
I forgot about the brick.
And they did what else did they do? The Metro card, the New York Metro card, and people were spending a lot of money to try and get one of those things, man.
This is my buddy was in Taiwan. He got this Supreme fanny pack that's draped on the chair that you're sitting in right there.
Oh shit!
It's fake as fuck, by the way, but I mean, like, stupid fake.
Damn, dude. Yeah, man, Hypebeast will buy anything that's got fucking Supreme or Off-White on it. I mean, each to their own. I'm not like knocking it or anything. But
you
like,
can just fucking throw that on the ground.
I personally, I never saw the appeal in that kind of stuff. I was just like, man, I'll just buy whatever fits and whatever I can afford, because I try and be cost effective with my clothes, even though like, I don't know.
Have you ever had an allegiance to a certain brand, a certain clothing brand?
I mean, not really.
Shoes?
No,
you sneakerhead or anything like that?
Nah, dude. Like I used to really love Adidas, and I would wear their shit all the time. But then I got a little bit older, and I was like, man, like when I started having to actually pay my own bills, and
a shoe's a shoe.
I was like, a shoe. I'll fucking wear sandals, like if that shit's get me from A to B safely, like whatever, dude. I don't care.
I'm in the Steve Jobs one outfit, but quantity 12 in the shopping cart. And you just get 12 of the same shit, and it's like, so you don't have to worry about what to wear. You just wear the same shit.
Less decisions.
I'm on that right now.
Yeah, that's cool, bro. I respect that, man, because mental bandwidth is a thing, bro. You can only make so many decisions and so many thoughts during a day, bro, before you just like, I don't know, give up or conk out or something, I don't want to wake up and go, oh, what am I wearing today? Oh, this, that. And then by the time I'm ready to go, I've made 20 decisions and I'm exhausted already.
Yep. Well, I mean, Greg will tell you, running a studio, revolving door of people, it's like a game, keep it up. How many plates we have spinning, you got to check in on people, make sure they're not fucking the place up. It's tough. There are little micro decisions that get made throughout the day. It's tough to run the place.
See, I find that stuff hard, man, because I'm a scatterbrain. So like any new thought that comes into my mind will completely take me off track, and I could get distracted or whatever. But
Sign of a true creative, maybe.
yeah, and somebody like Greg who's like constantly like on his shit and knows what's up and got to check on people and do this and
Yeah,
that.
that boy
Like,
locked in.
dude, my manager is one of those people who's like, he's a business minded person, right? And he kind of balances me out in that aspect. So he's always thinking of like 10 steps ahead. And he's always thinking of like, how would this affect our relationship with this person? How would this affect this decision and stuff like that? And I just think, fuck it, man. Let's just do whatever. That's the kind of person that I am. Like,
He's like, but I'm gonna keep you in check though.
he does. He keeps me in check, man. And that's a manager's job, you know, somewhat, is to keep the artist from turning into a fuckboy, you know, because like a lot of artists have that fuckboy streak inside of them. Like, it's part of us, you know. It's like a, you know, it's just how it is, bro.
Freedom. Hey, no parents, no rules.
Oh man, yeah, it's artists, bro. It's crazy, man. Creatives have this. You ever meet a creative that tells you that they're not anxious or they don't worry about what people think of them or they don't want approval? Then they're bullshit. It's bullshit, bro. Because like, that's an inherent quality that we have. Is like what
will the audience think?
Absolutely, and we care about our art, and like, art it's an inherently anxious and personal thing that we do. Like, when I write music, I'm not just writing music because it's the thing or it's the wave or whatever. I write it because like, it's what I feel I need to do to stay sane, you know, because I gotta have that outlet where I'm just like, man, I got these ideas, I gotta get it out there, you know. That's the artist thing.
I go through the same thing. I'm always wondering if this video that goes up on my channel is gonna hit or not. I'm not really that in tune with any of my subscribers at all, and I think some things hit, some things don't. But yeah, I definitely worry about that. Shipping just about anything, but you know, whatever.
That's our biggest enemy though, as creatives, man, is worrying about. That's the big thing. Worrying about what other people think about your art is detrimental to the art. You know, we have to just put our shit out there and just let it do its thing.
Yeah, once you put it out there, it's not really yours anymore. It's the people's,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, dude, it's up to interpretation too sometimes. But like, I was having a chat with Muna of Quality Goods. She runs the label with G, who's Uzi. They're husband and wife, but they do some fucking amazing work, right?
Okay.
And she's a marketing whiz, you know. She's all about branding, and she's another one of those people that's super like business minded. And we were just talking about how when you worry about what everybody else is doing, or whether you worry about whether your shit's gonna hit, it has an impact on your performance. Because when we create, like I said, it's a personal thing. You have to work it. It's an inner thing that we have to work out in our minds and in our hearts to be able to put that shit out there. It sounds super sappy, but that's art, bro. That's how creatives are.
You know what he's talking about.
Yeah, if you're a producer, if you're an artist, or if, you know, whatever you create, man, you know what I'm talking about. Like, we're anxious, we worry about shit, but at the end of the day, you shouldn't worry about that stuff. You just do you. And if you do you well enough, people will fuck with you. It's plain and simple, man.
Big facts here today in the secret room.
Facts. Hard-hitting facts.
So you've been in the studio with Mayhem.
Have been, yes.
What have you guys been working on?
We've just been working on some trap shit, man, as per usual. Mayhem is the don when it comes to that stuff, and he's got a super crazy fucking workflow, man. Like, I was sitting in the studio with him last night. He was showing me this synth, and my mind was like blown. Like, I'd never seen this shit before.
Oh, this synth right here?
Right here. And yeah, that was, man, big ups to the Don Mayhem, bro. He's got the fire, bro. Fire music, and he's got the fire food spots. So follow Mayhem SLR on Instagram and check out those food snaps.
A real fat boy swag, man.
Fat boy swag. Yeah, dude.
Cool. Shout out to Mayhem.
Shout out to Mayhem, the Don.
Well, shit, man. What do you say we get out of here and get a beer or something?
Yeah, sounds good, bro.
Yeah?
I'm down, yeah.
That's great. It's been great having you in the secret room.
Man, thank you so much.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
a pleasure meeting you, man.
Before we get out of here, just because you got everyone listening in that fucks with you, let these folks know something, man.
Just enjoy. Just enjoy the shit, man. Don't stress about, don't fucking worry. Like, shit'll work out. Just be positive. And remember, stress is a choice. you invite the energy that you give out. So if you focus on being a positive and happy person, you'll invite that shit into your life too. That's something I've recently learned myself. I've been stressing, man. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, I stress about shit, and once again, because I'm a creative, that's how it is. But I stress extra on top of that. But now that I'm getting older, I'm just realizing that it's what you make of it, man. So enjoy.
Stress is a phase.
Stress is a phase and a choice. Enjoy. And take it easy, take it slow, because life is short.
Bless up.
Bless up.
Straight like motherfucking that. It's Ben Scarborough and Oski chilling here in the secret room at Third Eye Collective, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.
See ya.